Up at 0-0 is Luke Stewart, just shy of halfway.
Gee, it's hard to score a try, Rabbits.
We'll take another look at that disallowed try from Losalo when time permits, but Souths meantime are seeing some grass down the other end of the ground. As it comes away from Greg Inglis, it's gone through Sando and picks up Asatasi.
He does look trimmer tonight, does Greg Inglis, and it's a great first touch. And if John Lang has said that South Sydney have been soft at the end of matches, well, Parramatta have got to be tough at the beginning of this match. Good sides, they handle adversity, and they've had some. So they can't get their heads down because they feel as though they've been hard done by. They've got to roll their sleeves up and stay in this contest and battle it out.
Play by Stewart, and Taylor it is that runs it. He'll play the ball inside the 40-metre line. Isaac Luke thinks it's time to have a little scurry away from dummy half, and Wesser was storming onto the ball, but Luke had been well and truly tied up by Hindmarsh and Manor. He's up to 9 tackles now, Nathan. We're looking for 16, and that kick is going over the dead ball. So retrieved back there, the kick of John Sutton by Jared Hayne. I think that young lass that he saved is actually in the crowd tonight. Played then by Chris Walker. And now it's with Shackleton. Stewart, the chief tackler. Hindmarsh carries it up to David Tyrrell. 7 or 8 metres their own side of halfway, Parramatta. The penalty goes their way. He's eventually lost patience with the tacklers. They were in there on a feeding frenzy, you might say.
Now we'll see what Parramatta have learnt from last week. Coach Stephen Kearney said that they got a little bit bogged down with their style once they got behind on the scoreboard. They couldn't break free of the shackles and produce tries. They've had a couple disallowed. Now they find themselves behind on the scoreboard again. Let's see what they come up with.
Here's Shackleton. That's the 20-metre line just behind him. Now it's come down to Losalo, one of the disallowed try scorers. On the 10-metre line, middle ground. Maguire has a look, goes behind Shackleton. Robson! Jeffrey Robson! He scores the try after he had been sidestepped to the other end of the ground by Greg Inglis. So the 7 for Parramatta has scored.
And nice work from Casey Maguire. I was surprised that he didn't start last week against Penrith after being so good in the opening 20 minutes against the Warriors. He got out of dummy half, the big dummy there from Jeff Robson, fooled Dave Taylor, and Luke Stewart unable to tackle him down low.
We've just come back in time to see Luke Burt convert the try scored by Jeffrey Robson. And so it's 6-all after 14 minutes, the blue and golds and the red and green.
He did well, Robson, but I put this try down to defensive error. They just overread it too much. Dave Taylor takes the dummy, leaves his front rower posted on the inside, and the faster Robson gets by. Not saying it's not good work by Robson, it is. He saw the opportunity, but that's defensive error, and that's what I talk about with South Sydney. They get off to a good start and then lack intensity in their goal line defence. That's what they've got to improve.
Gee, that kickoff from South Sydney almost cost Parramatta dearly. It still might.
Well, it was cool again from that man there, Waiselli. He just taps it back. No drama about it. Straight to Robson, who found support.
20 metres out from their own line. Cross through Mortimer. Oh, gee. Strong tackle there by Sando. He can hit hard. And it's Losalo who was on the end of it that time. Here is Tim Manor with the ball. And 35 metres out from the line. Over now for the kick from Hayne. He puts a shot on it, but it's gone out on the full. It's gone out on the full. It looked to have a mighty hook on it.
Yeah, well, he had good pressure from the inside on his right kicking leg.
Back, fellas, all the way.
I don't like right-footed kickers kicking on the left-hand side of the play of the ball. And you can see that Luke was able to get out, made him kick around him, and he hooks it out over the touchline. Not happy.
One, let go.
This is Pettyborn now.
Day your mum's coming over and there's no pasta in the whole supermarket.
sure whether John Lang had wanted to throw too many of them, but that one counted.
There's the 10,000th tackle for Nathan Hindmarsh. And here's the ball, coughed up, advantage Parramatta. Mortimer, Asatasi coughing it up, and he's ruled that a knock-on happened. So check-in will put a scrum down. So 10,000 for that bloke on screen, in centre screen, Nathan Hindmarsh, 286th game, and he racks up that magical number.
Yeah, the quality of Nathan Hindmarsh's defence has always been his cover on the inside. The crucial tackles Nathan Hindmarsh has made has been when he snuffed out danger when other players wouldn't have put themselves in the position to chase as far and as often.
It's young Morgan under that tackle. They're really testing him out. Now Moi, 12-6 in favour of South Sydney there. Parramatta with 2 tries disallowed. Hindmarsh goes back to Mortimer. Sando came up and he was beaten by Mortimer. Now Mortimer comes back and finds Fui, and he will play the ball 8 metres out from the South Sydney line. Casey Maguire. Behind Manor, Robson, little kid, Inglis turning, and grasses the ball. Believe it or not, from the glossary of rugby league, that is a touchdown. What you just saw there.
I was a little bit worried about Sando's attempted tackle there. He came racing up for another one of those hits, and I got an inkling he stuck his leg out and was pretty lucky not to trip his opposite number. I might be mistaken. He comes up very quickly and throws that leg out. He threw the leg right in front of Mortimer there. I don't think intentional, it was just reflex, but get himself into trouble doing that.
Here's Manor. And Moi is out there. Roy Asatasi comes off, so does Luke Stewart. The starting front row for South's off. Moi playing the ball. They're 20 metres away in the centre of the ground. Maguire goes left side for Hindmarsh, who goes short to Mortimer. Nothing doing out there. And now Maguire goes up the middle, having a look around. Moi is with the ball, gets an offload away to Mortimer, and Mortimer sees a little gap and tries to pump those little legs through. He plays a 10 away from the line. It's gone to his partner, Jeff Robson. Robson comes across, puts this little kick in again, in behind Talanoa has lost the ball, but then I think it's been forced. And it'll be a mistake by the defending side. I'm reading it as a line dropout.
Yeah, no doubt that he's got downward pressure on this, I would feel. It was a fumble. It was pretty ordinary play by Parramatta, and the kick was a little bit of a rush one. There was no one really chasing. They're looking for offside. There's no offside. Talanoa gets a fumble. Boop, up, yep. Yeah, he grounds it there. No problem.
He got an awful bounce, didn't he, the winger?
Yeah, I think he grounds it twice. I think that's one of those torso groundings right there. And then he puts his hand on it there. It's grounding, it's grounding, that's grounding.
Sean Hampstead in the video referee's box tonight. South ready for their line dropout.
They don't look comfortable in attack, Parramatta, Peter, do they? It's a little bit all over the place.
And that's been the case for a couple of seasons. Gus, I've always said that they look more likely to score from 55 metres than they do from 15. He actually did well there, Jeff Robson, not to throw the initial pass because his players on the outside had overrun him. Sometimes I think it's almost too structured, and they have too many settlers in the opposition 20 for my liking.
This is Manor, just inside the 30-metre line. Moi again running it at Wesser, and Wesser, Taylor and Pettybourne make the tackle. Ben Ross has gone on for Luke Stewart as they go left side for Manor to use Mortimer, to use Hayne. There's an extra. Walker for the line. He's over, and I think he's got downward pressure on it. Referee is going to point to the spot. So Parramatta at last get the benefit of the officialdom. 12-10 the Rabbits.
They got it right on that occasion, and it was a structured play. These sweeping second-man plays that teams like to put on, and Chris Walker was actually grounded short of the line. Daniel Mortimer, he committed Tyrrell. That created a 3-on-2. And the short ball from Hayne, but he does get taken over the line by the number 3, Farrell.
Yeah.
That's what Luke Bird has got. 22 out, 2 in. On its way, it looks good, doesn't it? Flags are up. He doesn't miss off, and he's one of the great goal kickers. And there's 12 all to score. Brad Fiddler sideline.
Sometimes you just got to give Jared Hayne the ball. I know Steve Carney's really trying to put some responsibility on these halves to come down and make some plays and make some opportunities. I've watched Jared Hayne call for the ball 3 or 4 times and not get it. When a bloke like that wants the ball, you got to give it to him.